So this is a perfect layer for anyone with fine or thin hair. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for being here. If you're new, hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to comment down below what you think about this video. I'm going to be cutting it today, and as you can see, these mannequin heads don't come with the most amount of hair. I do want to accentuate this slightly, but we do need to take off those fried ends. So what I'm going to do is, this haircut is perfect for thin hair clients. For thin haired people, if you've got fine hair, then you can have layers. This is what I'm going to show you today. So if you're a stylist and you're always thinking, how can I put layers in somebody with fine hair? Or if you're a client wanting to book into a salon thinking, how can I would love layers, but it's going to take so much density away. So I'm going to show you today. So first of all, what we want to do is I want to keep quite a bit of this face framing bright lights around the face. So I'm going to start from, again, curvature of the head, and we're going to draw down to the occipital bone through there, and then when we get to that occipital bone, we're just going to draw across through to there, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. We want to balance up, we want to find where the head starts to move away from that comb. We want to draw through and draw down to that occipital bone, and then this isolates the top from the bottom. This gives us a really good view of the loss of density through here. Section comes around and down to the occipital bone, and then back up and through there, isolating that top. So when we're looking at clients with fine hair, or you're looking at fine hair yourself, you've got fine hair yourself, and you want to see where the density, because we've all got like different lengths of hair, it all grows at different rates, we all get damage from blow drying, straightening, tonging, but we want to see where the hair is the fullest. And on this mannequin, I can see, I mean, if I were to keep it, I would keep a good amount of length and density through there. So where we're coming down, you can see there's all these little hairs here. So about there, that would be nice. We'd keep that nice blunt line there and taking all that off. And then we follow it through to the sides. So it'd be around about, yeah, and you can see a piece here. So where the ear of the mannequin is, because the hair goes up and around it, we lose a bit of density. So you can see that bit in there, it's a little bit thinner than the rest. And that is where we'll be cutting to. So I think that's a perfect length for us to take it to. I'm just going to blunt cut straight across, and you can already see the difference. So you've got all that density there. We could go a little higher, but I want to keep a bit more length on this mannequin, and then it just sort of softens off through there. So we're working at a sort of perfect length for anybody with fine hair on the ends that doesn't really want to lose too much but needs to. So a nice blunt line in there. Now we're going to come to the sides and we're just going to meet that together. Got a nice straight blunt line in there now, compared to that. How wispy all this side is. Now with the top, we're going to find the high point of the head. So we've got our comb in there, where that's sort of touching, being there, we're going to draw straight across, splitting back from the front. There. So we've still got some of those long pieces that fall below it, but you can see that already looks so much fuller. But there's these little bits here, so we are going to layer as well. Just comes to just behind the ear. Now what we want to do, we want to be creating subsections through here, and we want to be picking up our guide, and our guide is that length there. So you'll see it, we know when that drops out there, we could take it to where that fell out. So if we bring that back up, which is, you can see that just there. So there is our guide. We could point cut all of that out if we want to, and what that will do is create some really short layers on top, but letting us know that we are keeping all that length in and pushing some of that length and that weight to the perimeter. But if we want to push even more length and weight to the perimeter, and we can refine it after, what we can do is, if we go past that point and let that bit of hair fall out, we know there that we're going to push even more length down to that baseline. And what that will give us a much fuller and denser weight point through here and through the length. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to point cut that across. That's going to give us an internal layer, but we know we're going to keep that length. And then those little stragglers that are just on that baseline, we can then just go in and then just refine those out. When it comes to these two side sections, we're going to push or pull this side. Let's just get that guide from the middle that we just cut. We're going to pull up to here, and we can see our guide at my fingers. And if we're pulling, we know that that's going to be traveling further, so it's going to create extra length around the perimeter, giving us even more length and weight through here. So we pull that up into the middle, still point cut, because that's going to create softness, and we're elevating also. And then we're going to get probably some little stragglers down here as well. Just a couple. So what we know with that is that some of the hair was finally just dropping to that baseline. So we've created layers inside the hair, but we haven't gone too short because some of the hair did fall to that baseline. Now with this side, I'm going to pull up that guide from the middle, and then with this side, we're going to push. Again, over directing and elevating to that middle, and you can see my guide there, a nice strong guide. Okay. So this is a perfect layer for anyone with fine or thin hair. And then there's just a few stragglers there. And we've just got a beautiful blunt shape, but with texture. Now when it comes to these sides, let's just clip this out. We're wearing a side parting today. I think side partings they sort of went away. Everyone's wanting these middle partings with bangs, and I want to bring back the sort of off-centre parting, the side parting. Now, if we pull this over, we can see my length there. So I know if I go, pull this right over here, and there's the length there, just dropped out. If I go higher and over direct and elevate, I'm going to end up with some length, which is what I want, because I want to emphasize this front colour. So just tidy that up. Let's drop that down. And there's a little bit of length just on that front. Same again on this side. So we're going to be pushing this now, and we'll be able to see our guide dropping out. But if we want another guide, we can just pull this up. Which is just there. Really exaggerating this side, pushing it right over. I can see my length there, it's all dropping out. Pushing this right over. Because that extra bit of over direction is going to give me a little bit of extra length to play with on this front piece for where I put a fringe in. And there it is. So I'm just going to point cut that off. So I've got a beautiful strong baseline through there. And then this side as well. So that is it, that is the haircut for people with fine hair. Stylists, if you're worried about thinking, oh God, I don't want to take too much off, and when I'm layering, when the hair's wet, you don't really know where you're going. You might have a guide, but you know the hair's going to shrink. So it's perfect if a client really wants to come to you as a specialist, you could sort of shampoo the hair, condition the hair, treat the hair, give it a really good blow dry. I just wrap dried this to make sure it was all sitting nice and flat, and it gives us that beautiful shape. But something that's just a lot stronger, but has some layers in. I was saying about a fringe, but what I'm going to do first, might be another video, I'm just going to curl this just to emphasise, and I want to just pop this back so we can see a bit more of that colour. So here it is, guys. I wanted just to put a little bit of shape around the front, so I just put a little bit of curling just at the front. I've got a real thing for mixing textures as well, so yeah, I just thought I'd put some shape in just using like a wand. I use my Alpha Italia curling tong, and through there just to sort of show off some of that colour to open up that face, but also just give it just a bit of a point of interest to like make it that the focal point. That's why this is all sort of wavy and the rest is straight, just adding a little bit more dynamic, I suppose, to the face. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Again, if you are new, hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to comment down below and let me know what you think about this video.